FPUC is back on, baby. It is in the third stimulus package. It's $300 a week going forward, but the fourth stimulus package is making a push for FPUC retro. This is great news. Will it happen? In this throwback video, I explain FPUC, UI, PUA, and more. Enjoy this overnight to LA video about unemployment. Republicans are set to calculate how to do FPUC 2.0. Hopefully they don't borrow Larry Kudlow's calculator, which apparently is now with Don Jr., who says that 85% of Americans make $400,000 or more per year. Afternoon, everybody. This is LALATE. Hope you're good and safe. This is Afternoons LALATE, our 2-hour programming block that starts every day with a check, then goes to hazard pay, then FPUC, and finally rent. Big developments overnight about FPUC 2.0, which will be debuted next week in a new bill. It won't be called the HEROES Act. It won't be called the HEALS Act. It won't have a K or an H. I mean, maybe it'll have a K. Maybe a Kardashian will write it. But it won't be a skinny bill or a fat bill or slender bill or rotund bill. It'll simply be a new bill. The bill will propose FPUC likely at $400 a week. It'll be retroactive and it'll be to December 31st. But in the last 24 hours, I have gotten more questions about that than I can possibly imagine. So I'm going to go very slowly over what's going to happen for purposes of calculation for FPUC 2.0 shortly. But first, the big news. The big news and great news across the board is that states are now paying 5 weeks of LWA. Texas viewers of this channel have now reported receiving 5 weeks of LWA. Yes, 5 weeks. If you're in Texas and have not received the 5 weeks, don't send me hate mail, because I have viewers who actually have got to the 5 weeks. I'm sorry that you haven't. But they're getting 5 weeks. Arizona has reported 4 weeks. In fact, it is now believed that some of these earlier states will get upwards of 5 weeks of benefits. Other states will get 4 weeks. Later states will get 3 weeks. And if you're still waiting to receive a single darn week, don't worry. It's going to be landing in your bank account. The thing is patience. Viewers have asked me about LWA. Why haven't I seen any money? It's because your state was slow to apply. They were slow to apply. They're slow to receive. They'll be getting you the money. You'll be receiving LWA retroactively. They're paying retroactively to the last date at which FPUC 1.0 expired, $300 a week. So, if by the time you're waiting to get the first check, you're at week 4, you will get 4 weeks. If you're at week 3, you'll get 3 weeks. Bam, in your account. Next, if you're in West Virginia, Kentucky, Montana, Vermont, and Kansas, you will get an additional $100 per week by enactment of your state on top of FPUC. On top of LWA. So what I mean in those states is you're going to get your normal benefits, then you're also going to get $300 of LWA, then you're also going to get $100 on top of that. All right, so now that we've gotten through this incredible great news about LWA, let me get to the detail about FPUC 2.0. A lot of confusion about this. So let me explain what FPUC 2.0, how it'll work. FPUC 2.0 will start applying from the date at which FPUC 1.0 expired by all indications. So, FPUC's 2.0's first week will be that last week of July. Then its next week will be in early August. It'll continue going up week by week by week until you get to December 31st. That's likely when it's going to expire. Now, understand, the bill has not been introduced. There could be revisions in the bill in the next 4 days before it's introduced, or 5 days before it's introduced. I'm reporting what is widely believed how it's going to be phrased in the bill. When it's debuted, don't get a high alarm. Mark Meadows has indicated there's going to be a lot of movement on the bill right off the bat. So don't be on high alarm about anything when it first comes out. It's what's eventually in the final version of the bill. All right, so we understand the eligibility period, late July all the way to December 31st. How will it be paid? This is the number one question I got overnight. And I'm going to go really slowly on this because some people are a little confused. If FPUC 2.0 is $400 and you have received $300 of LWA for a particular week, I'm just talking about one particular week at the moment, you will get $100 of FPUC 2.0 because the difference between 400 and 300 is 100. What states will do is they will route you the difference. That is what the current indication is. I'll repeat it again. FPUC 2.0 will pay the difference between what is in the law and what you've already gotten from LWA. So if FPUC 2.0 is $400 and you've already received $300 of LWA, you'll get $100 for that respective week. You know, as we get into September, where FPUC eventually expires, where LWA eventually expires, then at that point you'll get the full FPUC 2.0. But for those earlier weeks of late July and early August when you were getting LWA, you will get the difference of FPUC 2.0 and LWA. All right, next. People ask me, do I have to return the LWA? No, they're going to send you the difference. There's going to be a slight difference, $100 difference or $200. They're going to send you the difference. Next, people ask about that $100 add-on. No. So if you got a $100 add-on, if you're in the state of Montana, Kentucky, Vermont, Kansas, and West Virginia, no, that $100 add-on was a benefit, that was a gift from the state. They're not going. That has nothing to do with the federal government. The federal government would never say that's deducted from federal funds because it's not federal funds, it's state funds. So no, that'll forever be your money to keep. Do you have to do anything else to get FPUC? No. If you're already on UI or PUA, then it's yours. It's as simple as that. You don't have to apply for FPUC 2.0. Next, I still get these questions occasionally, and they really don't stem from FPUC situations, but they say, can I switch from UI to PUA? No. Can I switch from PUA to UI? No. Then I get questions about expiring benefits. First of all, if you're on PUA, you can't be expired yet. I mean, PUA has 30 plus weeks, so we're not even at 30 plus weeks, if I recall correctly. April, May, June, July, August, 5 times 4, 20, we're at somewhere at week 20 approximately if you got on PUA at the very first day in March. So no, I mean, you won't expire in PUA in the next few days. You could expire in PUA by this fall. Will this stimulus package extend PUA? No, I don't see that happening. Will it extend PEUC? No, I don't see that happening either. PEUC was established in, FPEUC was established in the CARES Act, the first stimulus package, and provided additional weeks of unemployment benefits, UI. So these were for people whose UI benefits were expiring, and the federal government wanted you to get extra weeks of benefits. I've had questions about this overnight as well, so let me address this as well. If you are on normal UI and you're worried your UI benefits are running out, you need to look up the following. First, FPEUC. How many weeks does that provide? It's an extension of a certain number of weeks. You need to see whether or not you've used any of those weeks yet. Additionally, the next thing you got to look up is state extended benefits. States have a state authority to extend unemployment benefits during emergencies, and many of the states have done that. So, for example, if let's say your normal unemployment benefits is like 20 weeks, some states have extended 5 more weeks by what's called state extended benefits. Every state is different, so you need to look it up. So just if your normal UI benefits are expiring, don't assume they're going to expire because you may get FPEUC weeks going forward or state extended benefits. Does it give you more money? No. It just gives you more weeks of coverage. Do you have to apply for these things? No. They're automatic. You don't have to do anything. There you go. I think that's clear. The interesting thing is tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is? Thursday, the new jobless claims report. If we're sitting here today, we're at week 22 22 or 23 of consecutive weeks, with the exception of one, where unemployment benefit claims were over 1 million per week. It's the worst run since the Great Depression. What we're seeing now is currently every week there's 1 million new unemployment claims. The number has not improved. This is the most telling number for the second stimulus package. How many people are newly claiming themselves unemployed? The number has not improved. It improved in 1 week by 100,000, dropped to 900,000, but the next week shot right back up. So we don't show any recovery. The president's trying to push an agenda this week that the recovery is V-shaped. It was a very deep V, and it's already rebounded. Not true. The unemployment numbers are absolutely horrible. And until you see that unemployment number improve, no one's going to believe that we are in a better situation. Indications of better situations are not Tesla stock prices or Apple stock splits. They're unemployment numbers. But there's even another number out today. Home Base, which is a staffing firm, reports that unemployment, that hourly employees at small and middle-sized businesses are still 20% below pre-pandemic levels. It shows that the unemployment recovery growth was very flat in August. This is as stimulus check negotiations flatten out and stalled. Staffing from Home Base showed that the time worked by hourly employees at small and medium firms was still more than 20% below pre-pandemic levels, barely budging from the results in July. So they're flat. They're not improving. The data, along with similar information from coronas and weekly unemployment claims, seems to show a labor market recovery that has been stuck in neutral as the federal stimulus from the CARES Act expired, if not before. This is from CNBC. What does this mean? It means that the jobless, well, there are jobs numbers and there's jobless numbers. They're two different numbers. One number, which is every Thursday, talks about how many new unemployment claims there are. Then there's another number that is published every month, once a month, that talks about how many new jobs were created. That number is not an inherently reliable number because it includes both temporary jobs, part-time jobs. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a full-time job that's going to pay your ability to make rent and things like that. That number improved initially from the first stimulus round and then sank again, showing it's a double dip recession. Home Day database shows a drop in income for the unemployed could have impacted. I do expect for this lapse time to show up throughout the fall, in that we're probably going to see the immediate effects when personal income and outlays data come out, but I expect it to be a long-term tail, says the individual cited. In retail and hospitality, the gains we've seen earlier summer and all along, stores, hotels, and restaurants started to open back have largely been abated. This is not good. So as the lockdown orders were lifted and you saw some restaurants start to get some business, you started to see some hotels and some stores to get businesses, that has now tanked down. If the standard seasonal reaction continues this year, we could see further loss of employment heading into the fall without further government assistance to Main Street and its workers. I've also been a little bit surprised by the non-reaction of the markets, but the honest truth is that the markets can wait for a fifth round of stimulus. That's the second stimulus package. If it's the beginning of September, if it's the end of September, the fact is that when it's coming to the market, the vulnerable households can't wait, and we'll see the discount there when people whose rent is due now. Boy. So basically what you're seeing is that however many people who are unemployed now, that number is not going to improve. When we see the jobless claims tomorrow morning on Morning's LALATE, I expect the number to be over 1 million. I expect it to be another 1 million. When we see the jobs numbers in August released this month, I expect the number not to be good. And so without things that get people back to work, which is jobs, without businesses that are hiring, which is via PPP money, without a situation where they can afford to open up and a spur of economic growth and spending stimulus checks, then the situation is going to continue. It really is. With that, go to the front of this channel and subscribe. Hit that subscribe and alert button. We're trying to add 20,000 new followers. Well, actually, I guess it's now 19,000 followers to get to 250,000. We can do it. We can absolutely do it. Next, hit the like on this video. You can use two thumbs. You know, you can use a foot, a thumb, a nose. You can use anything you want. It helps the algorithm. So this channel appears higher in the rankings. We're trying to get higher in the rankings. You try to help that happen. Yesterday's video, Morning to LALATE, went to 15,000 likes because of you. So let's try to do it. Every video, the more likes you give it, the higher the video ranks. That's the massive ingredient involved. Coming up next is rent. You need to tune into that because the fact that an eviction moratorium was issued is not enough. You need to understand all the repercussions and the elements behind an eviction moratorium. And then coming up after that is Evenings LALATE at 6:45. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay up LA for more.